Okay, so first, we're going to talk about a little bit of the topics. All right, so as you can see here, we have identifying stress, tools for stress management, time management tips, goal setting, prioritizing your to-do list, and online resources that I will give to you all. First, we're going to do a little icebreaker because I like to have an interactive workshop. Okay, so I'm going to launch the poll. So it's super simple. You're not going to fail or anything like that, but I like it. So I'm going to launch the poll now. So you guys should be seeing the poll, and then you can answer, and then we can go over it. All right, so I'm going to end the poll now because it's been 2 minutes. All right, so for the poll, the results. So number one, which I live under a rock. I had no idea what the answers were. It's okay. You know, it's fine. That's why we're here. We're going to talk about it. So which Doja Cat song is popular on the social media app TikTok? It is Say So. So 86% said Say So. And yes, it is. Even though I do like the other songs, but the dance is very popular with the song. Which country was Drake born in? 93% said Canada, and they are correct. He is Canadian. Which 2006 Sierra song made a resurgence on the social media app TikTok? 50% said Level Up, 21% said Get Up, and 29% said 1-2-Step. Said, I answered the poll this morning because I'm running activities through Zoom for a program. Yeah, you're fine. So it's actually Get Up, not Level, even though Level Up is one of her newer singles, but Get Up came out in 2006. Like, you're trying to admit it, this can get the feeling inside. Yeah, that one. Okay, so, and lastly, for who sings the popular song called Adore You? 57% said Harry Styles, and y'all are correct. Shout out to Harry Styles. He should be coming here in August, so I don't know if I'll be able to go because of the COVID-19, but that's another conversation for another day. So yeah, so let's get started. Just want to do a quick little icebreaker. So shout out to you guys for participating. Okay, so let's move on. So some interactive questions. Okay, so obviously we all get stressed in some way, shape, or form, but how do you know when you're stressed? How can you tell? So in the chat for everyone who is here, just let me know, how can you tell when you're stressed? Okay, so someone said I bite my gums, I start stress eating. Yes, I understand that. I feel nauseous, okay, and I have no motivation. Okay, someone said my breathing gets heavier. Someone said I'm overwhelmed when thinking about everything I have to do. I get very, yeah, those are really valid. And I kind of feel a little bit of everything when I'm stressed. Sometimes I have memory lapses where I just literally cannot remember the things that I need to get done. So I'll be working on something and I'll think of a thought that's like maybe for an assignment, and then 5 minutes will go by and I'm just like, wait, what was I thinking about? Especially over finals week, that's when I get really stressed out because I have so many things due around the same time, because teachers and professors love doing that to us. They love assigning projects, papers, presentations, all like around the same day. And I'm just like, why must you be like this? But I understand. I understand. Someone said, I get more short people. Yes, yes. That's like the emotional, stressors. It's kind of like I'm a little bit more impatient. So I understand that. So good responses. Thank you guys for participating. So now we're going to talk about how to identify stress. But you guys have a good, you guys do a good job of like knowing for yourself how to identify stress, and we're just going to break it down in 4 different categories. So first, you have psychological signs. So you have inability to concentrate or make simple decisions, like what I said for me. Maybe you're easily distracted, you're less creative, you're worrying, you have negative thinking, you may have depression or anxiety. So now emotional, you're feeling out of control, you're irritable. So like what someone said, you're more short with people. Maybe you're defensive, you have mood swings. Like someone said, their lack of motivations or a lack of confidence or self-esteem. physical signs like what someone said, they bite their gums or they have aches and pains. I know for me, when I'm really stressed, I clench my jaw and I actually wear a mouth guard at night, just because naturally I clench my jaw at night. But I remember last year, my mom got remarried like the weekend after finals week, and I was her maid of honor, which was super awesome, but also very stressful. And like the day before the weekend of her wedding, I clenched my jaw so much I woke up with jaw pain because I was just so stressed. So yes, that is definitely a physical sign. Panic attacks. Someone said that they feel nauseous, high blood pressure. And then behavioral signs. You're prone to accents, forgetfulness. Like what I said, I have memory lapses when I'm really stressed. Poor time management or poor standards at work. Maybe you socially withdraw from people, you isolate, or maybe you wake up tired even though you get a lot of sleep. I know for me, I get like that. I'll sleep 8 hours and still feel tired. Or maybe you have relational problems. So these are ways to identify you're stressed out and it's time for you to figure it out and to take a break. So to move on, now that we identify our stressors, now in the chat, what are some things that you like to do to relieve your stress? So we've identified that we're stressed out, but how exactly are we gonna be, okay, it's time for a break. So someone said workout, that's a good one. Go out, yes. Draw, play with my daughter, walk around the block. Absolutely. I've been walking around my neighborhood a lot because I'm always home, which I'm fine. I love being home, but I definitely like to take walks when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Naps, painting, long shower, make a mini schedule, convince myself I can do what needs to be done. That is beautiful. Walking, Netflix, yes. Sometimes you just got to chill out, watch Disney Plus or Netflix, and schedule time to just relax. Play with my pets, that's really good. Sleep, yes, catch up on sleep is good. I step away from the situation and cry it out. No, that's not lame, that's good. Because sometimes you just need to cry. Like, especially for me, if I realize I haven't cried in a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to music and I'm just gonna chill out. And if I cry, I cry. You know, it's good to get that emotion out. Someone said sleep. Again, exercise, listen to music. I love listening to music. Sometimes I listen to music and just to improve my mood and make me happy. Like if I have a particular playlist that is like upbeat music, that kind of like makes me feel less stressed and it improves my mood. So you guys have super awesome responses. Okay, so now let's get into short-term stress relief strategies. It's a little early, so apparently my words aren't coming together, but it's okay. So let's get into acute stress. So that's the type of stress that throws you off your balance momentarily. It's a stress that comes out quickly and often unexpectedly doesn't last too long. So these stress relievers can help you relax and quickly recover. So maybe it's a moment in time when you're stressed. It's not like a prolonged stress period. These are things that you can do to kind of get you back on track. So, for example, mini meditation, someone said they like to take a walk. So y'all are doing it. You know, y'all are really practicing these acute stress relievers, aromatherapy, listening to music, mindful coloring. I love to color. I'm 26 and I still love to color. Schedule a 5 to 15-minute break. Exactly. So especially if you're studying for an exam or you're preparing for a project and it's been like 2 hours, or you're just going at it straight, just take a 15-minute break, watch a YouTube video, go to the kitchen. Maybe, you know, you have to get something to eat because you forgot to eat, or go talk to your family, call your friend, you know, do something, schedule a little break and just be like, this is my time to chill out. And then when the break is over, you just go back to work. So that way you have a scheduled break and you don't feel guilty for taking a break. Because I know for myself, sometimes I feel guilty for wanting to relax because I always feel like there's something that needs to go on. That's something that I always have to do. So it's good for you to just listen, I'm gonna take this break and I'm gonna enjoy it. Okay,
Brianna,
so,
I just want to
oh, what were you gonna
just say
say?
something. A lot of times society looks at the suggestions that you had just made as like a sign of weakness. And really, you're reinforcing it's okay for us to take that time. and regroup or rethink or calm down or de-stress. So that's important for the students to know.
Oh, 100%. Thank you, Christine. And that's so true because, especially, I keep seeing tweets and posts on Instagram like, it's quarantine time. It's time for your business plan. It's time for you to do this and that. And it's like, that's cute, but also people need to catch up on sleep. People need to hang out with their family, maybe, or just like chill out, relax. Like, it's okay to relax. Our culture in America is very like, work, work, work. Like you have to just keep grinding. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And it's like, no, like we have to calm down and give our body a break. We can't always access that stress hormone like the cortisol. We can't always just be in this state of perpetual like stress, because that's when you get dry skin, your hair starts falling out. No one has time for that. Like, especially, no one has time for that. We're trying to be healthy. We're trying to evolve. So I agree. Reinforce the fact that you got to take care of yourself. Point blank, period, point blank. So now let's get into the long-term stress relief strategies. So chronic stress, and I feel like a lot of people have heard this before. So it's stress that occurs on a regular basis. And this type of stress can leave you feel drained. It can lead to burnout if it's not effectively managed. So managing this type of stress requires a combination approach. So you have some short-term stress relievers and some long-term stress relievers that can relieve your overall stress. So in the chat, I have a question. What are some maybe long-term stress relief strategies that you guys think that maybe you already do, or maybe something that can help someone who has chronic stress? So maybe over like a 6-month period, this person has been stressed working on a project, or maybe you're a student where for just a whole semester, you're taking a really challenging, difficult class and it's just super stressful. Maybe you're taking biology, maybe you're taking chemistry, or maybe you have a language arts class, or you're taking Spanish and it's hard. So what are some long-term stress strategies that you can think of? And it's not like super complicated. It's really more like straightforward. It's okay. I got it. Scheduling time for yourself. Work out more. Journaling. Yes. Break up assignments, big projects and pieces. Planning and organizing. Yes. Prioritize. Yes. Get ahead. You guys are awesome. You guys could do this presentation with me. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So maintain a balanced, healthy diet. So what does that mean? So remembering to eat when you're hungry. I know especially when you're in the zone, you're so consumed. You have that tunnel vision where you sometimes forget to eat or you forget to drink. So definitely make sure that you're eating well, you're eating meals that make you happy, that make you feel good, that are tasteful, that are flavorful, that are not bland and like, but also, get your portions in, your vegetables, your fruits, like your whole grain, all that bunch of stuff. So it can fuel your body, have supportive relationships, your best friend, your mom, your grandma, your cousin, your classmates, that sometimes it's just helpful when you have a classmate that just knows like, yeah, girl, this class is stressful. I understand, because sometimes the people that are going to relate the most are going to be in a situation with you, unfortunately, sometimes, like you could talk to your mom or you could talk to your friend that's outside the class, but they don't really know the full thing unless they've taken it before or they're in it with you. And then of course, workout, yes, exercise regularly, get those endorphins going, to really, even if it's just stretching, a good stretch makes you feel good, especially if you're tense. I know for me, I carry my tension in my shoulders because I hunch over and I just need to just, loosen it up. So definitely, just even if it's a stretching, that's awesome. Someone said prioritize. Yeah, reassess your to-do list, make sure that you organize it in a way that, okay, maybe I have to do like the one that's going to take the most amount of time first. And then everything that's, quick and easy, little busy work, you can get that out the way, later on. develop a positive self-talk. So be encouraging to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Oh my gosh, I suck. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I can do this. No, don't do that. You can do this. You've gotten here this far. You can keep doing it. Okay. So develop that. And that's going to take time because it's so easy to be negative. So when you make a choice to be positive and to encourage yourself and encourage other people, that definitely goes a long way. And then lastly, make time for leisure activities. Like I said before, schedule it out. For instance, Friday night, I'm not doing homework. I'm not. I'm not doing homework. I'm not doing schoolwork. I know for me, like around 5 o'clock is like my cutoff time. And then I get to just do whatever I want. I go to a friend's house. I go to the movies. I watch, my show on Netflix or whatever. I know that that's my time Friday nights where I'm not doing work. And I don't feel bad about it because made that time. So someone said, how do you come back from burnout? That is really good. So for myself and what I can recommend for burnout, first of all, you have to recognize that you're burnt out because sometimes you're so in the zone that you don't even know what's going on. Once you recognize that you have burnout, then you have to have a sense of awareness and assess what's going on in your life. Okay, so maybe you have a job and you're in school and you have an internship or something like that, for an example. Okay, yeah, let's see, what are the things that are taking too much out of your energy? Okay, maybe you need all those things. Maybe you need to work so you can have money, or maybe you have to be in school because, you have to be in school. You can't just be out here just being on the beach all day. Like you have to be in school and learn. Okay, maybe you have a class that's super demanding. Okay, once you reassess, what are the things that are stressing me out the most? What can I do in my control? Okay, I can't control, the coursework in the class, but I can control how do I manage my time. If you realize that you suck at time management, like I used to be really bad, then it's like, okay, what are steps that I can do? Okay, I can have a planner. Maybe it's a physical one or it's a digital one on your phone. Okay, and I'm gonna keep, my to-do list in check. I have a calendar on my phone where I can do things in advance so that way I'm not stressed out by the time I get those projects going. Okay, another thing too is definitely self-care, scheduling time out for yourself. And it's gonna be a journey because sometimes, I find that not only do we feel guilty, but you kind of feel like, oh, what's the point? I could take this time to do my work, or I could take this time to do, maybe my laundry or something like that. No, you have to prioritize yourself. So for me, I know what the times I'm super stressed, I'm like, you know what? Today or this evening, I'm just gonna do my favorite thing. I'm gonna make my favorite food. I'm gonna chill out and I'm just gonna decompress. Don't talk to me about school. School does not exist right now. I'm just going to just calm down, have fun, maybe play video games. I like to do that when I'm super, super in my relaxed mode. Animal Crossing just came out. I don't have a Switch yet, but I just know that everyone's into that right now. So those are things that you can do to kind of pull yourself out of the burnout. It's going to be a process because like it took you a while to get to that burnout phase. So it's going to take you a while to get out of it. But as long as you invest in yourself, you invest in your self-care, whatever that is, because self-care is different for so many people, then you'll be able to get out that burnout phase and then continue to be productive with your work. Does that make sense, Paige? Yes, cool. Does anyone have any tips for burnout?
And I will say something. I found that most of the time I surround myself with my friends, and especially as a mom, other moms that we can kind of chat what's going on, because often we're suffering or experiencing the same types of anxiety and stress, and so we all work it out together. And so it's like girl therapy that we get around, and it's wonderful. I want to say to the kids before a winter break, right before that, I saw your faces, how hard you guys had all worked. You laugh, but I was really concerned because I greet the kids, Brianna, every morning at breakfast, and they came in, they were sluggish and they were stressed, and you could just see it on their faces. And it really bothered me. And it was amazing that when they came back from break, they were rejuvenated and alive and smiling again. And it's amazing how time away, taking time for yourselves, really regrouping again, prioritizing can make a difference. And I love what you're saying and doing. And I hope the kids take it to heart and start practicing it, because we can't just preach it. We have to find those methods that work for us, that release, because today we get overstimulated constantly. Even through this period, the teachers were told, throughout the county, to take a step back, minimize your work, take another step back, minimize your work again, take another step back, because they don't realize, yes, everything's important, but so is math, science. So the kids are getting pelted from all over the place. So I contacted Paige last night and I'm like, you need to get on this. And she's like, I have to do this. I'm like, you need to get on this. And sure enough, I'm glad to see you here today. So that's my spiel, everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's true. Like, I know I have some friends who are teachers. And so, like, they're like, the other teachers are just keep, pushing like it's normal class. And it's like, no, like, you don't know people's learning environments, you don't know like their home environment if they're able to do all this work, So yeah, definitely taking a step back is always awesome to reassess and to just take a break. So shout out to everyone that's here. Shout out to Paige. Okay, so we just covered the stress management portion, but we got to talk about time management, because time actually can affect how we handle our stress if we're stressed in the first place. Like I said before, I used to have poor time management, and it made me stress. I like to be on time, but yet for some reason I'm 5 minutes late, and I don't understand how, why, like, unless it's a party you can be late, fashionably late, whatever. But a doctor's appointment, I just feel like in the mornings I just walk so slow, and I need to walk more with a purpose. But that's besides the point. Time management. So it's the process of directing how much time is spent on certain activities. Pretty straightforward, but it's always good to just throw a definition out there, so that way, people were all on the same page. So now we're going to talk about tips for remote work, because we're all at home. We have to stay home so that way we could be safe. And before I get into my tips for remote work, I want to break everyone into breakout rooms so that way you all can come up with tips and maybe create tips that I don't even, I didn't even think of. So I'm going to break you all into groups. You guys or y'all can all come up with tips together, and then we're going to regroup, talk about them, and then I'll share mine, and let's see how it goes from there. So I'll break you all into 4 groups. So you should get a notification soon, and then it will transport you to a separate room. And then in about 5 minutes, I'll bring you all back. All right, so hello everyone, welcome back. Hello. Okay, so how was that? Let's talk about the tips now.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So anyone wants to go first?
I'll go. My group talked about like prioritizing our work and going for walks just so that you can like calm down or like just get your mind off of things. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about anyone else?
We talked about getting up on time still, like trying to keep a time schedule instead of getting up, 2 o'clock in the afternoon and then missing all your face-to-face classes, your help with your teachers. So maybe not 6 in the morning, but maybe trying to get up at 9 o'clock or so to be able to participate in your actual classes.
That's a really good one. Absolutely. Anyone else?
Well, I was in the same group with Yael, and we just sort of came to the agreement that a calendar to schedule your day-to-day is pretty useful. But I do agree with Miss Madrigal about the sleep schedule. Yeah, that's important.
Yes, I think that's awesome.
I have a 17-year-old at home, so I've been trying to get him up a little bit earlier. He was doing the 2 o'clock also, so I understand.
For sure. Yeah. So you guys did great. That's awesome. So a little bit of everything mixed in together. So let's talk about it. So number one, I have create a work zone, designated workspace. Two, imagine like you're going to school or work. So good job. Take a lunch break. So yeah, take a lunch break, take a break. Stay away from personal tasks and determine when you're most productive. So let's just break it down. So first we have create a work zone / workspace. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So have a place in your home where you can do your work. I recommend not doing it in your bed, just because I know for me, I associate my bed with sleep. So I do feel sleepier when I'm in my bed versus when I'm at my desk where I'm at right now. But if you can and you have to, because if you're with your family and your family's noisy like mine, your room is probably the safest, like quietest place in your house. So even if you have to do it on your bed, just be a little bit mindful, make sure at least mentally you're in the zone. So, your bedroom, your couch are typically places of leisure where you chill out, you're watching your shows, you're eating, relaxing. So, like the person in the picture, they're upright, they're at their desk, they have comfy clothes on. You don't have to be like in uniform because no one has time for that. But, try to, wear something outside of your PJs if you can. Imagine like you're going to school to work. So exactly what you all said, try to adapt a schedule that can fit with what we're going through right now. Obviously, you don't need to wake up at 6, which is great. But take a shower. If you take showers in the morning, I take showers at night. But brush your teeth, wash your face, eat something, get into that routine so that way when you're ready to go to the classes online or to start your homework or whatever, you are in that zone where you're ready to work. So let's see what someone said. Yeah, getting out of your PJs makes you feel refreshed. That's really true because when I'm in my PJs, I don't want to do work. I want to be lazy and do absolutely nothing. So me putting on like my HLP shirt and like, it doesn't have to be jeans because I don't like to wear jeans for extended period of time. But just nice sweatpants or helps to minimize weight gain too. Yeah, that is true too. How do I say? Yeah, so it doesn't have to be jeans or like, work pants, but even if it's leggings or comfy, shorts or whatever, it's something that's outside of your pajamas where you're still able to do work, but you're not like in your nightgown all day. So next is going to be take a lunch break. So it's cool to eat while you're working because it's convenient, but over time that could be a detrimental habit. So instead, try to take a real lunch break away from like your workspace. So if you're at the desk in your room or in your house, go eat lunch at the dining room table. And then, you're watching your show on your lunch break, or you eat and then you take a walk around your neighborhood, or you take a nap. Take a nap and wake up and feel refreshed to continue your work day. Yeah, so eat, stretch, meditate, so that way you're rejuvenated and ready to finish the latter part of your day. And so the next is stay away from personal tasks. So it may seem quick to wash dishes or pay the bills or take the trash out, but a lot of times that snowballs into other things like, oh, I have to go on this call, I gotta make this doctor's appointment, and then it's an hour later and you still didn't finish your work task. So to avoid that, try to make a list And if it comes to your memory, just make a list. Oh, I have to do my laundry. Oh, I have to wash the dishes. Especially when you're at home. I know my family like, hey, they knock on my door like, hey, don't forget that you have to do this, or hey, I need you to, do this, or you didn't clean the dishes last night, and I need you to do this right now. Whatever it is. Maybe sometimes you like, especially if you live with your family, got to do that. But other personal tasks like cleaning up your room or straightening this or whatever, write it down, and then when you're done with your school day, your work day, get it done, and then you're just zoned out getting it done, and then you can chill out. And then determine when you're most productive. Are you a morning person or a night person? For me, I'm a morning person, and definitely when you're more awake, it can help boost your productivity. So if you're someone that likes quiet mornings and you feel like you get work done quicker and more effective at the start of your day, then save that time for the heavier tasks, the tasks that take a lot of time so you can be more concentrated. Because a lot of times after lunch, we're a little bit more sluggish, a little bit more tired. So at the end of the day, if you can, save that time for your assignments that don't require a lot of brain power. So you can be busy where you can play music in the background and you can still get it done, and it's not a lot of strain on your brain. So we're going to get into SMART goals. So I don't know if anyone has heard of SMART goals before. Sometimes they're called SMART objectives, depending on like which field you're in. In public health, we call them SMART objectives, but that's neither here nor there. So specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. So I like to use the example of your goal is you want to walk in your neighborhood for 30 minutes every day for a week. Okay, so specific. First of all, that's really specific. You want to walk around your neighborhood for 30 minutes every day. That's really specific. Measurable. That's measurable. You can track it. You can write it down. Monday through Friday. Yes, for between 6 to 6:30 p.m. or 7 to 7:30 a.m. You can literally measure that. Super simple, action oriented. What are the actions that you're going to do? So, okay, the night before, I'm going to prepare my shoes. I'm going to have sweatpants and a t-shirt laid out beforehand, and you're prepared so that way you're not frantically pulling stuff the next day. Realistic, I think it's realistic because it's something that you can easily do. It's in your neighborhood, and it's something that's not too outside of your control. And time bound, do you have enough time to get it done? Yes, because you're giving yourself a week and it's easily manageable to do. So does that example make sense for everybody as far as like the SMART goals? So that's what I recommend for people. When you're having goals are more broad and then objectives are more refined and specific. So when you have a goal in mind, if you follow the SMART, acronym, you're able to really plan out to see, can I actually achieve this? Like, is this realistic? Me saying I want to fly to the moon, I don't know how I'm going to do that. First of all, I have to stay at home. No one needs to bring coronavirus to the moon because that's a whole nother situation, okay? So I have no rocket ship. I don't have any connect at NASA. And that's not realistic. And I can't even measure that. So we're going to put that and table it for now, but something like I want to be able to play the guitar. Okay, maybe give yourself 6 months and you can chart and see like, okay, I practice this day, this day, this day, so on and so forth. You all understand. So that way you can apply that example to your studies and be productive. So another poll. So we're going to poll and see which type of planning do you prefer, digital or physical planning. So I'm going to launch the poll right now. And you should see. And you have a choice to do digital, physical, or both. I'm just curious to see what you all think. Okay, just waiting for a couple more responses. So far, it's a bit even, to be honest. Let's see, I'm gonna wait another 15 seconds to see. All right, cool. So I'm gonna end the poll. All right, so It's pretty much even. So physical planning in both were like 38%, and then 23% was digital. So I personally like both. It depends on the situation. So um, digital, as far as like I have Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, so meetings and stuff like that, they're on my calendar. Doctor's appointments I have on my phone calendar as just a reminder. But then as far as like tasks, as far as like to-do lists and stuff like that, I have my physical planner right here that I use, and I like to color code it. So as you can see, like right there, I feel like I'm a YouTuber. Where they're like, oh my gosh, guys, and they like do that, yes, I watch too much YouTube. Okay, anyway, but I like to do that because for me, I like to write out my tasks so that way I don't get overwhelmed. But as far as like bigger stuff, I can just put that on my phone. But as like a weekly thing, I like to schedule like my classes, my work. I have like practicum and all that bunch of stuff. So it's helpful for me. So that way I don't get flustered and then I'm running around looking frazzled and no one has time for that. So you can use a digital method if you always have your phone charged. iPhone users, we love to leave our phone on 1% all the time. You already set your reminders on your phone. I definitely like to do that. I'm not going to say the name because she will go off, but y'all know. I say, hey, so-and-so, can you set a reminder to do X, Y, and Z? And I like to do that like in the moment so that way I don't forget. And that way I won't say the name. Will remind me, hey, Brian, you have to call about your car warranty or whatever. And you don't like to carry much day to day. So I like that. So that's super awesome. Now, physical planning is so cool, and if you prefer to write things down with pen and paper, you enjoy the creative process of physical planning. I definitely like to play music and do my planner and, color. I have like pencils and stuff over here too. So for me, it's just really fun. And then you can commit to carrying your planner everywhere. My planner is super small. It's not like super big. So I just throw in my backpack. Again, I'm not going anywhere. So it just stays on my desk. But when I was going to school, it was easy for me to whip it out. So thank you for participating in the poll, everyone. So now let's talk about creating the schedule as far as time management, because we know we need to get stuff done and we need to figure out how can we schedule things into our day. So we all talked about prioritizing, so let's get into it. So what you're going to schedule is your class. So your class time, your lectures, your labs, exams, your work, right? Your appointments, social time, exercise, relaxation, all this stuff is where you're blocking out times in your day. So that way the free space is for your to-do lists. So I'll give you an example. So this is what I'm talking about. So if you look here, this person, let's say this person name is Rory. Okay, so the green is class. So they got a bunch of classes, going on. Volunteer, they're very, very charitable, Wednesday and Friday, they got that blocked off. The social time in the pink. So let's say they have a little club or we're going to go to the movies and see Birds of Prey or whatever. You got that down. Exercise, this person is very active, more active than me. So Monday through Saturday, they are definitely, bullet journaling is good. Absolutely. I used to do a bullet journal, but because it was too free form, I just got lazy and didn't keep up with it. So I need some sort of structure, but bullet journaling, go on YouTube. It's super awesome and you can get really creative. Anyway, so as you see here, this person, Rory, is out here exercising and they have their relaxed time. And so where you see that circle, the empty spaces are your to-do list time. So that's the free time that you have to get whatever you need to get done. So now let's talk about the to-do list. So this is where you think of this as what you're doing in your free time. So this is where you're talking about your assignments, your tasks, your homework, your quizzes, where you're going to study for exams, personal errands, like, okay, I'm done with everything after 5 p.m. Okay, I'm going to do my laundry. Oh, I got to, make dinner. I have to do, I have to make sure that I work on my, my assignment because my professor wants me to turn it in by 11:59 tomorrow, all that bunch of stuff. So that's where you actually have the time to get those stuff done. And so let's talk about prioritizing your to-do list. Okay, so this is what we recommend. So you can do it by the next due date and then the least amount of time to the most amount of time. So how do we do this? So let's say you have a paper due and you also have an exam due. So the paper, so let's say it's Friday and you have a paper due next Thursday, and then you have an exam due the following Monday. So not the Monday coming up, but the Monday after. So I would recommend for you to work on the paper, get it out the way. That doesn't mean that you can't study for the exam, but the paper is due first. So you want to make sure you take the time, look up the sources, research, get your paper done, preferably in advance. So that way at 11:58, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to, you know what I mean? Because I've definitely done that once or twice and it is stressful. Oh my gosh, no one has time for that. Then from there, let's say you finish your paper by Wednesday. Cool, then you have Wednesday to Sunday to study for the exam. And then you're not flustered. So that's what I recommend as far as prioritizing your stuff that's due. All right, so now let's get into the online resources that I have for you all. So as you can see, we have a couple stuff. So these are PDFs that I'm going to put in the chat. So to the left, I have the weekly planner. So this is just an example. You all can print it out if you want, or you can, if you have your own planner or if you have your own notebook, you can just copy it. You know, we have the HLP guide, how to get your ish together, your ish done. It's pretty much like this PowerPoint for the time management, but just broken down into PDF form. The time management flyer, it's still helping you as far as your goals, how to prioritize your to-do list. And then for stress management, it's just helping you to remind you, okay, how can you reduce your stress? How can you get a good night's sleep? All of it stuff. It's just super awesome. So they're all PDFs. So I will put that in the chat in a second. But other than that, we're good to go. So follow us on social media, y'all. I think we're really funny on Instagram and Twitter. You know, we be out here with the TikTok videos. I think we're cute and funny. So definitely, if you all can follow us, and then you can, you know, take a picture of yourself doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we can feature you on our Instagram stories. You feel me? You know, to shout you all out. And so that way you can share to your friends, like, listen, it's 2020. I'm in the house, but I'm still productive. Okay. You know, 2020 is not getting me. No, we're not. We're going to be productive. So other than that, we are, we're pretty much done here. So thank you all. Yes. See, I appreciate the love.
This was excellent, Brianne. Thank you so much. You're
yes,
so talented.
thank you so much.
We learned
amazing.
so much, and the way you made it interactive and engaging. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now, I do want to encourage everybody to pass this on, and I would like for you to take pictures, as Brianne said, of you practicing good stress management or time management and share it on their social pages. So we can get that bond of FIU and Mass at FIU working together. And Sasha, it's your job to make sure that other students do this. They can,
I will spread the word.
Yeah, she recorded it, so I'm sure she's going to share it with us so we can have other people. Miss Bermudez, if you're still on, I'd like for you to encourage those HIP students to review this and get on that social media, because we need to get active. And our partner was amazing today. So I'm done spieling.
Oh, thank you.